Stop putting dead animal parts in your home. So many furniture and design elements and interior design are made up of animal products that we don't realize. I'm sure you can think of some of them, like leather, down, wool. Okay, these aren't dead, but this is an animal product. And these products are in our sofas, our pillows, our beds, on our floors, on our walls. We're sitting on them. So when you're creating a home, creating your home, which is your sanctuary, you want it to be peaceful. How do you do that when you have dead animals that have been acquired through violence, trauma, and bad energy? Luckily, manufacturers and suppliers are finding alternatives that can glorify these animal prints and patterns and properties that we love. And they allow us to create a space that is peaceful, calming, and responsible. So I'm Risha, and I've been helping luxury homeowners for over 15 years create beautiful homes that they want to live in. In this video, I'm going to share with you what is vegan design and how to use it in your home. Vegan interior design is creating a design for your home without animal products. And there are so many animal products. I'm just thinking about it. Leather, wool, down, shell, bone, horn, skins, fur, bone. How did all these parts of animals get into our home? I love animals. And most people do. Most people love animals. But stop loving them that you're killing them to death. Like, stop loving them because you're killing them. You can create a home without using these animal products. There are so many great products that are being created now that replicate these beautiful patterns and textures and designs of the animals that we love, that we find so intriguing, that you don't need to have dead animal or dead animal part in your home to create the look that you want. Interior design is often the last stop for signing on to new ideas. What I mean by that is that I'm sure you've heard about vegan food products. It's become so prevalent. It's growing in popularity. Impossible Burger, Beyond Meat. And then vegan was being seen in beauty products and daily necessities where the products didn't use any animal products. Not only that, but they also, not only were they discerning in what they put in the product, but also how it was tested. So they were no longer doing any animal testing, and that made it vegan. And then we saw it move into household products for cleaning. And recently, we're seeing a huge surge in fashion that has decided to adopt vegan products in lieu of the real thing, such as leather. Stella McCartney has been doing vegan design, high design, for years. So if you're familiar with interior design follows fashion. And we're seeing a recent growth and development of products that imitate animal products, no cruelty. The best part is they tend to be better for the environment, not only in the manufacturing of it, but also the impact of animal agriculture is being eliminated. We know the effects of animal agriculture on the environment. So by not using animal products, we're reducing animal agriculture, therefore reducing the stress of breeding, rearing, growing animals to be used in our home. And there are so many alternatives. Car manufacturers are even signing on to vegan leather. I have a car that offered vegan leather. It was fantastic. That's probably the number one place where you may have heard about a vegan product in fashion and maybe in design. So they're not only the production of faux animal leathers and skins and furs. They all imitate and replicate the exact feel and look of the real thing, just no cruelty. How great is that? So we want to be able to create the environment in our homes that make us feel good, that support us, that is calming. And with these developments in interior design and that the manufacturers are creating that allow us to substitute the real thing with faux, that allows us to create a design without compromising any of the design. We don't have to say, well, can't do this, can't do that, because there are great alternatives now. This is fantastic. And I have been a vegan interior designer for over 10 years. And during that time, I've definitely seen more and more products being introduced into design that aren't animal based. If you're finding these tips valuable and you're serious about your project and you're serious about vegan interior design, click the link below to schedule your complimentary discovery call, and we'll hone in on what you really want done. So we've talked a little bit about leather, animal skins, and fur. Those are kind of really visible elements of animal products that we see and that would probably come to mind when people ask me. They say like leather. Absolutely. So what are some of the other ones that you may not think of readily? Wool in our carpets, wool in upholstery. There are plenty of wool products, wool that is being used in interior design. Well, wool isn't a dead animal. No, it isn't. But when an animal is being reduced to a commodity, there's no care in the treatment of that animal. For example, the shearer doesn't get paid to gently shear the animal, make sure its welfare has been taken care of. They're paid on the volume of hair that they can shear off as many animals as possible. And those animals are treated terribly. They're mistreated, they're abused, they're looked at like a commodity. On top of that, they're bred and used only during the period of time that they're useful to us. So sheep can live 12, 15 years, just like a dog. But when we're talking about using sheep as a commodity, their lifespan is quickly reduced, and when they're no longer considered viable, they're gotten rid of. So, and one more final thing I want to say about a wool, a lot of people don't think about. We're breeding the sheep to have as much surface area as possible. So they want to breed these sheep where there's a lot of skin area, surface area. Can you imagine shaving, your face and it's all crinkly? That's what I'm talking about when we're shearing an animal. So now we have a sheep that has to be sheared, but they have more surface area, which is wrinkled, and they're not treated carefully. Where else? Where else do we find animal products? Down. Down is the underfeathers of duck and geese. These feathers are 90% live plucked. And that means that they take the duck, the duck, the goose, and they pull these feathers out of the duck and the goose to get that beautiful soft down that we like to have in our pillows, in our upholstery. And again, the animal is only seen as a commodity. Shell. Well, you can go to the beach and find shells, sure. But when we're looking at it as a commodity, it's seen as a business and how to best breed and replicate the kind of shell that we want, whether it's oysters, clam, whatever shell. It's not culled from nature. It never is when it's talked about as a business. Bone, like in China. Bone, China, it's an animal product. Horn, well, we've seen that with ivory and what has happened to the animals because of that. So all these animal parts that are being used in our homes were acquired through trauma. We don't want to bring that into our homes. How do we make sure that we're getting what we want in our home? Well, you have to be vigilant. I've learned that you need to ask questions. You need to be curious. There are plenty of options available, but it requires more deliberate thought, and you need to be more inquisitive than if you were just going to purchase a regular interior design, a product for your home, such as a sofa or pillows. You would ask, what's in the pillow? What's it made of? What's the stuffing? Is there any down? Is the fabric, Is there any wool in the fabric? What is the fabric made of? Just like you think about when you eat, what are you putting in your body? It's the same thing. What are you putting in your home? I understand. It's unreasonable to just throw everything out and start new if you want to have a vegan interior home. That is unsustainable. In my home, I have vintage items and pieces that I acquired from way before I was a vegan. And they're in my home. Why? Because they're still viable. They work in the home, and I've moved and I've reused them, and they have longevity. And I just don't see that being sustainable for me to throw everything out that has an animal product and starting new. But I do think that it's really important that for myself, and it may be important for you too, that just knowing that moving forward, my decision on what I'm going to acquire, what I'm going to pick, what I want to put into my home is going to be different. It's going to be more conscientious. It's going to be more deliberate and more discerning. And that's way better. I can only do just a little bit better every day. So don't settle. To me, luxury is having options and being able to decide how you want the world to move forward. I want a cruelty-free world. I want one where all sentient beings are or live in peace, are living a peaceful, vibrant life. You know, I have a bumper sticker. And I get a lot of questions about it and people commenting on it. It's be kind to animals, don't eat them. And you can extrapolate on that. Be kind to animals. Don't use them in your home. Don't put them on your face. Don't put them on your body. If you like this video, you're going to love this one over here. Click here and I'll see you over there.